Oh, this isn't even opened. Hello and welcome to my channel. We are going to be doing some nails today as I just kind of chit chat about what my experience has been like when it comes to shifting from being a full-time stay-at-home wife to a full-time tarot and oracle reader. The goal is just for you guys to feel like you're hanging out here with me, just kind of talking. Let me know in the comments if you like this style of video. I've always hated working. I've never liked any job that I had. I really just always felt miserable. And it wasn't like the type of like, oh, I just hate my job. It was like a soul crushing experience. And I think that it goes kind of into two facets of like who I am. One is that I just wasn't doing something that I love. I am an entrepreneurial spirit. That is just who I am. Secondly, I am autistic and I genuinely don't feel like work systems are set up to benefit us neurodivergents. So it's always been a little bit of a struggle for me when it comes to work and those kinds of things. But yeah, I genuinely, I wanted to for a long time because I just didn't, I was like, is this it? Like, is this the purpose? Oh, it was just constantly like doom and gloom every single day. Nail polish removed. Now let's go into some nail prep. Sorry, that sounded juicy. So it wasn't until my early 20s. I want to say I was like 22. I'm almost 30, by the way. It wasn't until then that I quit my full-time job. I had just gotten sober and I had quit my full-time job to do Lyft and Uber. And that was my first like big leap, I guess, into an entrepreneurial thing because before that I had always done like little things. I don't know if you guys can hear that truck backing up. Little businesses here and there. Like I love to crochet. I tried to make a business out of that. There have always been like a lot of things that I tried to make a business out of. I was never like fully successful with it, and I never jumped into it like without my full-time job as something that was still supporting me. So I did this Lyft stuff and I was like, this is going to be it. Like I can support myself driving people around. I can make my own schedule and all this stuff. And long story short, it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. I wasn't making a consistent amount of money. I was miserable. I was getting very much into like the law of attraction and the law of assumption. I was a big Tony Robbins fan. You know, it was like during a big spiritual wave where people were like, you can attract the money that you want. I remember there was this guy that I found on YouTube that just like totally changed my perspective about like manifestation and all that good stuff. And so I I was trying to look at it like that. I was trying to go about it in a way that was like, well, I just need to manifest better. I just need to like be better at creating the life that I want. And so I tried to do that. And me and my husband, we've been living in this apartment since 2017, 2018. We kind of ran into this problem where I say that like it was like it came out of the blue. He was working at Subway at the time, and I mean, you only get paid so much at Subway. And then I was doing my half-ass Lyft stuff, and that it wasn't working out. I finally caved, and I was like, maybe I can do some kind of spiritual work because I am into that stuff. I made a list of all of the metaphysical shops like in the area. And I called them all and was like, are you hiring and all this stuff? And I ended up finding a job at this place called, quick side note, if you live in Utah, You probably know what is. Highly suggest you don't shop there. They profile people of color, and it's just a whole drama thing. They're abusive to their workers and so on and so whatever. I got the job. It was amazing. I was so excited. It ended up being one of the most abusive work environments that I've ever been in, but it did give me a chance to broaden my sense of like what spirituality is. It gave me a chance to explore those things a little bit more. But again, I mean, it just happened where eventually it didn't matter how good the job was or how much I loved the work that I was doing, because I did genuinely like some of that stuff. It didn't matter. I was miserable working for someone else. Eventually, I quit, or may have gotten fired from that job, to do tarot readings for full time. And I was more so focused on oracle readings at the time, but I was still claiming myself as a reader. So I started doing that full time. In that, I somewhat fell into, and I wouldn't say it was like extreme, crazy, scary, like actual fucked up psychosis, but I definitely struggled with some spiritual psychosis during this time. That really took a toll on me. I was a little bit cray cray. I remember I just was so burnt out. I was giving all of these readings and I wasn't pouring back into myself, and I wasn't staying grounded. I wasn't balancing myself. I didn't have the resources that I needed to really look after me. And so that didn't last very long. I just ended up playing Minecraft. I didn't know that you could do creative on Minecraft. I thought it was just survival. I had no idea that you could just like have fun and create stuff. And so I ended up hyperfixating on Minecraft and building this world, and it was all I wanted to do. And so my husband was like, "Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do right now, if that's what you want to do right now, then we'll make it work." And so he's been so amazing throughout my journey of figuring out what it is that I want to do. He gave me the space, he gave me the time to really figure things out. And then eventually I was like, I just don't want to work. And he was like, "Yeah, that's valid. I get that. You don't have to work." I know. A girl's dream come true. I became a stay-at-home girlfriend at the time, fiance, because we were engaged. During all of this, we also had to navigate a potential eviction. Like, we got close to being evicted because we weren't paying our rent. It was not easy to be a stay-at-home wife. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are gonna be like, "Well, girl, why didn't you just get a job?" But because if you were paying attention, just kidding, I would have, I would have myself. Yeah. It just, having a job was not part of the option list for me. We ended up navigating it fine. It worked out. It was okay. We did what we needed to. We got the money to save our asses out of that situation. I was able to be a comfortable stay-at-home wife. We did that. We got married. I became, that was my full-time shit. Like, I was a full-time stay-at-home wife. House cleaning, shopping, that was my full-time job. The house looked fucking immaculate all the time. I made the most amazing dinners. I was like a chef. I still love to cook. But that was my full-time job for a long, long time. I did really enjoy being a stay-at-home wife, but I just felt so like purposeless. I felt sad to not have like a deeper meaning, because my whole life revolved around making his life comfortable. And I genuinely love housemaking. Like, I've always loved to play house when I was younger and like do all those things. So like it wasn't about that. It was just like I didn't have anything for me. I didn't have anything for Mara. And so I decided one day, I was like, I built this TikTok. I still have like 17K followers that just never unfollowed me. Back from 2020 when I started doing full-time readings, I was like, let me see if I can make housewife content. And so I started recording stuff, and I had gotten diagnosed with diabetes. I have PCOS, and so I was like, I'm going to play at the angle of like having health be the main focus. So I started making videos of like my life as a type 2 diabetic stay-at-home wife, like that kind of stuff. And I like watching that kind of stuff, but I mean, I wasn't very successful at it. So fast forward a little bit, and I start feeling like I want to do tarot readings again. I was like, I should just post a little video like here and there. And so I did. And they did really well. And then I started making like regular content surrounding tarot and all of that stuff. And I had a lot of fun with it. I want to say January is the first time that I went live. I started going live and it was amazing. I started by showing only my hands because that's all I was comfortable with. You know what? This pillow is killing my back. Oh God. Okay, well now I'm like sunken. All right, it is what it is. And then eventually I decided to show my face, and it was like 1 a.m. when I decided to do this. I just decided to go live in the middle of the night, and I had so many people come into my live, and it was such a liberating experience because I finally gave myself permission to be seen. Not just like visually, you know, but vulnerably. Like I finally said, okay, like I am worthy of being like witnessed as a reader, as a woman, as an individual. Like I know that sounds so like cheesy, but it truly was this really big experience for me, and I will never forget that night. It was amazing. And like my regulars that had only seen my hands, they were all like, oh my God, it's so good to see your face. What an amazing gift. Like they were so sweet. If you're watching this, you know who you are. But yeah, it was such a good experience. I'm going to go wash the cuticle remover stuff off of my hands, and then we're going to start painting so I can continue the story and not finish it all before I finish my nails. BRB. Okay, so I'm going to start shaping my nails now. And it was such a beautiful experience. I decided to make that part of my job. So instead of just posting videos every day, doing my little daily energy reads, I also was doing my lives. And that is where I started to make money. That was really exciting for me. Like I had made money in the past with this same work, but it was never this much. Not to say I'm like a millionaire, but but I make a decent amount. It was the first time that I had made money and really thoroughly enjoyed the process of it. It was a great experience. I created a schedule surrounding my lives and decided that this is going to be, you know, what I do full time. As I started to gain a little bit of an audience, I kind of expanded. I decided, okay, well, I'm going to make higher quality content. So I invested in like lights, I invested in better equipment, I invested in higher quality stuff so that I could give better readings and just, you know, all the things. And after a while, somebody, and I had thought about this already, but somebody was like, do you ever teach tarot? And I was like, no, but I would like to. And so I started exploring that. I'm just going to find some nail art inspo. Oh, cute. Oh my God. I might have to do this. That's really cute. Actually, I don't think I need to look any further. That's really cute. So yeah, I was like, okay, this is going to be my next big thing. I'm going to make tarot classes my big thing. I was like, okay, what do I want to teach about tarot. And I had just found this guy, Dustin. I link him in all of my tarot classes. So if you're curious, I really recommend checking out his tarot deep dive because he goes so thoroughly into explaining the art history of the cards. And he just has a really beautiful understanding of the cards. He's been reading for 17 years. So I suggest him. But I really liked the way that he explained and taught tarot. So I was like, I'm very inspired by this man. I want to do something similar. So I was like, I'm going to start out with the history of tarot and like just to have, so people have like a understanding of like not only what my stance is on it, but also just what it is before we jump into the actual meaning of the cards. And I spent a really long time like researching, planning, and I was so fucking scared to actually film it. Like I am the type of person, I love the planning stage. I love budgeting. I love making the calendar. I love making lists and everything. But when it comes to actually like taking action towards towards my goals, that shit freaks me out. And I always feel, and I think that it's a combination of being a Virgo, a perfectionist, and having CPTSD, that I just feel like I'm going to fuck it up. I feel like no matter what I do, it's never going to be good enough. And yeah, I'm really hard on myself. I had planned on doing the tarot classes live, where I was like, I'm not going to be able to answer people's questions. I have like all of these fears flooding my brain. I'm not going to be able to know things like some of this stuff I just learned about. So like, who am I to go on live and like answer these questions on the spot? People are going to like find out I'm a fraud. I had really bad imposter syndrome. I got over it. And I decided, thanks to my lovely friend, my bestie, that I'm sure you'll see on some of my vlogs, she was like, girl, you don't have to do it live. Have you ever considered that? If it's taking the joy out of it, you're allowed to adjust. And what a relief it was to adjust. I don't know. Is this red too bright? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so I decided to do pre-recorded classes. So I recorded it. It was a thing. I felt good about it. It took for fucking ever to edit. Like, God. And also, it was my first time editing like a real video. So I put my whole tits into it. And I started that, and it felt good, but it wasn't getting like the traction that I wanted. And it's still like a pretty small class. Like not a lot of people watch my videos. I've also seen, bitch, if you're watching this, I've seen a creator steal my words exactly, like from my tarot class. So that was an experience. I was like, oh, great. And she got like 13,000 views. I was like, oh, well, fuck me. I really enjoy being a teacher, though. I really, really like teaching people that tarot is not a closed practice. And I mean, the people that know me this spiel a little bit too well. I'm probably like, you're probably, oh, brother, stop. But yeah, I truly feel that people make tarot like this really complicated thing, and it's really just not like that, honestly. Like, it's so open to interpretation, it's so open to flexibility, and you don't need to be putting all these constraints and rules on it. Ah, what a journey. What else should I talk about? Because I feel like that's pretty much where I'm at right now. If you're looking to start tarot as a business, I suggest it. I think everybody has their unique energy to add into the tarot community. And the people that are looking for your type of shit are going to gravitate towards you, you know. Fuck the algorithm sometimes, but those people will find you. Those people will be attracted to you. And I don't know. I'm a big believer that everybody just has a special thing to sprinkle into the community. So the plan for my content here, the plan for my little vloggy vlogs, is to kind of do 2 videos per week. I am planning on doing like one video will be more of like a lifestyle thing like this, where I'm doing something that I would already normally be doing, but just with you guys and talking. And then the other one I think is going to be more of like an adventure type shit where we go somewhere, which I'm really nervous for. Like, filming in public has me so spooked, but I think that it's going to be a really good experience for me because something that I'm kind of stepping into as I'm like moving into my 30s soon in August. And I'm like exploring who I am. My Saturn return just started for the first time. So that's been an experience. I feel like I want to be seen. I want to be known. And I feel like I've really hidden myself for so fucking long. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of like shrinking myself in order to preserve what comfortability I have. Like, it's okay if I'm a little bit uncomfortable. It's okay because life is life and I want to experience it. I want to have a life. I don't want to like shelter myself in. I swear, like, and I'm being so for real. I feel that at some point I started to move into the spectrum of being an agoraphobe. Like, I was terrified of leaving the house. I still get some anxiety, but I did a lot of work on myself, a lot of trauma processing to get to a place where I could go out and not have fucking heart palpitations when somebody looks in my direction. So I feel like the more that I kind of explore filming in public, being myself on camera, like we're just kind of hanging out. And even now, I feel like the need to like perform, but but I feel like the people that are gonna like me are gonna be chilling right now, like watching my content and just kind of feel like we're on the phone with each other, like talking, hanging out. So, all right, I'm gonna start doing some nail art. These little strawberries. So we've got some strawberries, I've got the red nails going. I just did the base coat on these 2 fingers of the pink. So we're doing the strawberries, some daisies, and the red nails. Oh, great. Ah, okay. Well, that's all right. I was supposed to do these 2, but whatever. It's fine. Let's start with the strawberries. How about? It's risky business wearing this yellow tank top. That's another thing also. I I would have never considered recording any type of video in a tank top. I've always been very afraid to show my body, and I can do some story times on that because I have struggled with like EDs and all of that stuff, if you guys want to know more about that. But yeah, I really feel like I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to make it this comfortable situation where we're just hanging out. We're just vibing. I wouldn't hide my body from, my bestie. So I'm not going to hide it from you. Oh, well, that does not look like a strawberry. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. I'm not going to paint my other hand just in case this is ugly and I need to change the design. Let's do the little tiny, tiny white dots on the strawberry. Maybe that'll make it look more like a strawberry. I don't know, you guys. It's looking a little funked. I don't know. Let's keep at it. Trust the process because sometimes that's just what you need to do in life. Okay, I made one of the dots really big. Oh God, I keep doing it. Oh my God. Okay, wait, these are so cute. I'm throwing up. Okay. They're cute. They're actually really cute. Here's a little moment. We're gonna do a little dot in the middle of the flower. Oh my God, you guys. I'm so glad we trusted the process. These are fucking adorable. literally screaming, crying, throwing up. Obsessed. Holy shit, I have to pee so bad. This is a pretty simple design, so hopefully the other hand doesn't take that long. I am not left-handed, but I have been painting my own nails for years, so this shouldn't be too bad. Let me know what kind of stories you guys want. I feel like I have so much lore to me. I'm in recovery. I have a lot of stories about that. What else? What else? What else? Okay, that strawberry's nasty. I want to get out and explore a little bit more this summer. I'm not a very outdoorsy person, but I feel like I can be. Especially if, like, the weather is good. I do not handle heat well. Okay. Well, these are not copy and paste strawberries. They're all very unique, but whatever. I feel like that's what makes them kind of cute. I feel like I want to talk a little bit about, like, CPTSD. So that's a huge part of, like, me and my story. So yeah, I can talk about, like, my trauma, my childhood, all that jazz. I really like this set. I think this is a cute little design, and it was like right there. Usually I have to look for so long. But yeah, also, where do you guys want to see me go? What do you want to see me do? I like thrifting. There's a lot to do in Utah. There's a lot of little markets, and I could go to Chinatown. There's a little Japanese grocery store that I've been wanting to go to that I've never been to before. This Saturday, I am going thrifting with my husband, and we're going to vlog that. And we'll see how that goes. I'm a little bit nervous for it, but I don't know. He's so supportive. He's so wonderful. It'll be one of those experiences where I just have to be myself and just trust that that is okay, that I am allowed to be myself. Okay, that seals the deal. I don't know what that was. That was gross. And we are looking at the nails. These are the nails. Hello, can you focus? Cute, adorable, obsessed, so happy. I had so much fun. I really did. And thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to start this journey. Not every vlog is going to be this boring. Again, I am going to be posting on Tuesdays more of a lifestyle content, more of like me just chatting with you guys. On Saturdays, I'll be posting more of like adventure vlogs, like where we go out and like I'm more of a vibrant character. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching, for starting this journey with me, and I hope that you stick around, and I hope that you gain something out of it. I hope that you have fun here. So, I love you all. Thank you for painting my nails with me. Bye.